This is Nadiva. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button and share with all your friends, your family, your co-workers, your spouse, all his boys, and all that. Your sorrows.
Just everybody.
Just everybody. everybody. But we back here again, and we're going to jump right into this episode. And I know you see some familiar faces from last week, so we just going to jump right into their introduction and get right into our topic today. So I have the privilege and the pleasure to introduce my godmother, Miss Delee.
I'm your librarian today.
Don't she look nice? So classy. That's a classy librarian look. You know what I'm saying?
Please kiss your books.
Make sure they do back on time. I'm sorry. We just having a good old time already. Oh my goodness. And also to my right, I have this lovely Renee.
Glad to be back.
Yes. It's so wonderful to have you back. And you look fabulous.
Thank you.
You look fabulous as well. Yes.
As well. Nice to do you.
Thank you. We had so much fun last week.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you made your debut on the show.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great synergy right here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Synergy.
Yeah. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the
Yeah.
flow. It's a nice harmony going on. Wait till y'all see. Y'all ain't you ain't ready for this. I got greatness sitting next to me right now. You know? And I also gotta make sure I'm good. You know what I'm
Holy
saying?
Trinity, right?
That's right. They're gonna keep me in line. But we have a great topic for all y'all today, and we're gonna just jump right into it.
Okay.
And this is my godmama. She came up with this topic, and so we're gonna talk about it. But today's topic is when people say taking it slow and getting to know someone, but how much is slow?
Yep. How much time is slow?
Yeah, how much time is slow? When you're in a relationship and you want to take it slow, how much time is slow? Is it slow to meet the children? Is it slow to meet your parents? Is it slow? Well, we're just going to talk about it.
Okay.
All right? We're going to talk about it. Okay?
Depending on the age.
Yeah, depending on the age and where you are in life.
Right.
It could be even slow to have sex. You know? But yeah, we'll talk about it. But we have a word of the day that my godmama has prepared for
Yes.
us today.
And our word for today is exacerbate.
Oh, I like that.
It is
Exacerbate.
a verb. It is make a problem, a bad situation, or a negative feeling worse. So it's already bad, but it's almost like an old saying: when you add oil to a fire, you make it worse.
Yeah.
You exacerbate it. Okay, so I hope that helps you in your understanding. The student chose to exacerbate the argument by ignoring his teacher and pulling out his phone while she was talking. So now, it could have been just put it away and be quiet, but you pulled out your phone and you disrupted my class. Now we got to go to the dean's office, to the principal's office. Exactly. Goes with my outfit. Now you've exacerbated it, and now you're in trouble. You want to show out? I'm going to show you who can win. You may have the last word, but I'm going to have the last say. That's what I tell my students, honestly. You know, when they're mouthing off and I don't say anything, you can have the last word, but I'll have the last say.
I like that.
I'll finish it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to use that.
And that's how you keep calm and you maintain your composure and you don't exacerbate the situation. They may, but you don't. You always stay in full control and you always stay like a librarian.
Very stoic.
Yes.
I like that. I like this word too, exacerbate. Exacerbate. All right, I'm going to have to think about this one because I'm going to have to use this in a sentence.
Okay.
Because I didn't do that well last episode.
It's okay.
I know.
You can wear my sweater next time.
Yeah, it'll make me feel smarter.
But you know, it is Deedee's Corner. Deedee's Corner. Deedee's Corner. Right. So let's get into this Dining with Nadiva merchandise. You see this baseball cap? For sale. This sweater, get a head start because it's for sale. All of the cotton and fleece hoodies in any color you like. You can definitely personalize everything. Our stainless steel water bottle is still in stock, and our aluminum thermos is still in stock as well. You can personalize these items as well. And if you ever want to just check up on those latest episodes, go ahead and take our teas and you can scan the QR code to keep in contact with us, okay? That's about it for Dee Dee's Corner. I'm gonna wrap it up and let you get back to their segment. Hey, and I'm out.
So our topic today is when people say taking it slow and getting to know someone, how much time is slow?
So I will just like to kick this one off and just say you really have to have a full understanding of what slow means to you, because everyone's definition, perception, and experience with slow is different.
Why do you think people want
so-
to take it slow?
Because people don't want to be hurt, they don't want to be judged, they don't want to give out too much of themselves and pour into someone before they know that that person is even the person that can reciprocate it, right? And so you want to take it slow, but you have to be mindful of what slow is. And I think you really have to have a conversation with the other person because my definition of slow may not be your definition of slow. You know, I may be saying, well, hey, let's date, let's hang out, let's communicate for 3 months, and then let's have a check-in. At 3 months to see where we are, if we want to continue doing this, and if we want to go to the next level in this relationship. But if you have a definition of slow and the person that you were seeing has a different definition of slow, that can be traumatic.
It can be.
That can be a situation because then they may veer off.
Right.
Because they're like, it's been 8 months and I haven't even kissed you, held your hand. And you're like, but I am waiting for, well, you need to articulate all of that and you need to explain what your slow is.
Set the expectation.
And then so both people won't be frustrated.
Yeah.
You know?
And everything's out on the table.
Right, right.
I think, again, it goes back to age because today, these kids or whatever they doing, it's just like, oh, if you ask them like, oh, you in a relationship? Well, I'm talking to someone. What does that mean? Or you know, I'm just hooking up with them. What does that mean? And that means they're having sex, but there's no relationship. They don't want to put a label on it. There's no boyfriend, girlfriend. There's no lady. So it depends on slow for them. So slow for them could be, yeah, we just hooking up.
Right.
But marriage is like, oh, way down the line. So again, it always goes back to the age group and the time because we're of a certain age. It's different. It's different. Slow, like I was telling you, I dated my husband. My husband and I dated 7 years before we got married, right? Now, I was ready at 30, right? But he wasn't. But it wasn't that, I don't think it was that he didn't want the commitment. He's someone that wanted to be in a certain place to provide, right?
Okay. Going
To
back to last
provide,
show.
right? Because he was working at a bank when I met him, and he took the test for the fire department. He got on the fire department. He took over. His parents had, you know, he bought the house from his parents. He wanted to make sure he could provide. To this day, we laugh because when I give him a card, I write, to my provider, love your beneficiary.
Right. That's really cute.
You know,
little cute joke.
But yeah, and people are like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's an inside joke. Stay out of it." But that's different. So he knew what he was doing, but he wasn't really telling me.
Right.
And so
You know.
to someone else, they may say, I can't be your girlfriend, lady, woman in your life for 7 years. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Right.
7 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's always never a guarantee. And I don't want to digress, but you mentioned something about labels. And so a lot of people are together, but they don't want to call it a label.
Right.
How dare you? If you were with anyone that doesn't want to identify what it is that we have,
Yeah.
that's an automatic
Red flag.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is
Yeah.
this not a cup?
Right.
Is this a microphone?
Right.
Everything has a label.
Right.
Tablecloth.
Yeah.
Screen, everything, necklace.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me
Right.
that we're together and we're communicating and talking, and it's a nothing. It's just we
Right.
just two people.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a woman.
Right.
You're a man. But we're nothing. Absolutely not. So you know
Exactly.
what? If
Right.
you can't give us a
Right.
title that we can agree
Right,
upon,
right.
Yeah.
that's an automatic no. If
Right.
you're gonna say we hooking up, then we hooking up.
Right.
That's the label. We just seeing something. then
Right.
we just seeing
Right,
something.
right.
But whatever it is, define what it is so
Right.
that we both clear.
Right.
And just like you have to define that, you got to define what slow
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because I'd be upset for 7 years.
Yeah.
Right.
And I might have lost out
Right.
on a wonderful man. And so that could be true for you
Right.
too,
Yeah.
right? That had
Absolutely.
you
There was
not-
nothing. There was
Right.
nothing. Not that I was looking, but it was a good relationship. It
Right.
is. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Like we were rocking together. We traveled a lot. Neither one. We didn't live together.
Right.
That was number. We weren't living together.
Right.
None of us had any outside kids. We were living life. We were also in our 20s.
Right.
You know.
But what I'm saying is, even though you weren't in agreement with that
When I hit
slow,
30.
right, and then you had a timetable,
Right, right.
Yeah.
you would have missed out
Yeah, absolutely.
on
Right.
this wonderful life with this wonderful man
Right.
had you thought like I did.
Right.
Because 7 years, I would have said, you know what, after 2.5, if you don't know by now, if you don't know
Yeah.
me,
I wasn't even
by
ready.
now.
Yeah.
I
Right,
definitely
like-
wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
And
think
I get
after like
that.
maybe 5, I was ready. I wasn't even ready. Like
Yeah.
after
Right,
that.
right.
See, for me, like, I mean, because I'm abstinent, celibate, abstinent. For me, because I know I'm taking it slow when it comes to that. But I would not. I'd have to set that expectation for whoever I'm involved with that I'm not trying to date you for, a year, 2 years, well, 2, 3, 4 years. I'm not gonna be able to hold on like that.
Right.
Right. So it would have to be, we'd have to have that discussion. And I think oftentimes many people, I don't know, maybe it's this generation today, but they don't want to talk about these things early on. They don't want to set these
Right.
expectations
Because
early
they're just
on.
having fun.
Right.
Right.
I think men nowadays, and I'm not saying men in my age bracket, but I'm noticing that men, because they're so exposed to different things on TV, and they think every woman is just about to be out there just to
Right.
put out, or you can be physical with her, but you don't have to wife her up.
Right. And again, we're talking 30 years ago.
Right.
I've been married for 23,
Right.
dated for
Right,
7.
right, exactly.
Well, I'm very
Right.
shocked, that women can meet men, and the same night that they meet them,
Go to
they can
bed.
go home with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they don't have a definition of slow.
Right.
And if they do, then sex has nothing to do with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like it's something that we do. It was enjoyable. I met you. We did it. And that's okay. And
What
that's
I-
good.
yeah.
Even if I don't
Right.
see you ever again.
Right.
And so I do believe you have to both understand what slow is and then what falls in the bucket of slow. So for you, slow is sex. But what about meeting your family? What about
If you have
spending the
children.
night?
Right.
Yeah.
What about meeting children? So all
Yeah.
of those things have to also be considered, but it's all about communication.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I definitely agree
absolutely.
with that. But do you think it's okay to take things slow?
You have to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We're living
you-
in a different
I'm-
day and time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and divulge my whole life to you and tell you everything about me, and we're only 1 month in.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got to give it out a little bit.
It's,
little bit,
I say
little
I'm
bit,
like an
little bit.
onion. I'm in layers. You get me in layers. I
Right.
can't give you all of me because you might just blow up.
Right, and so
But-
that's part of taking it slow.
Right.
So could you imagine you meet someone and in 1 week they know every single thing about you, what you
Right.
like, dislike, all of your experiences, and now it's week 3 and that's it. And now you're going to start all over again? And now you're going to do the same thing again and tell them everything? You'll be exhausted. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm emotionally drained. And it was only 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
But you get my point, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right. I'm kind of curious to know your opinion for those women that are out there and men who are dating that have children. When do you think is the appropriate time to introduce somebody you're dating to your children?
I dated outside of my house. So I definitely did not want my children to grow up saying, you remember Uncle so-and-so? You remember
Uncle, you put an uncle on him.
You remember so-and-so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. He was the one that had the cookies. Oh, no. No. So I dated outside my house. And so the relationships that I did have that my kids were privy to were only people that I thought that was going to be a long-term life partner.
Right.
But definitely not.
Do you
'Cause
set that expectation though early on for whoever you're dating?
Very, very clear. Very clear.
Okay.
I don't spend the night out. You can't spend the night in. My children weren't going to wake up when they were younger, and there was going to be some man in the house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to tell them later. So if this is who I am as a woman and I'm trying to teach these certain standards to them,
Right.
they're going to be like, well, you don't remember Paul?
Right.
And what about John?
Right.
And Peter? And don't forget Malcolm. No, absolutely not.
And to that as well, especially like I know a guy that he had to break up with this lady because he's a girl dad, and he was spending too much time with his children. And I said, did she have any? And he was like, no. I said, that's why.
Right.
So you also have to look at that. You also have to look at, right now it's like you got to do background checks.
Yes.
For men and women. When you have young children and like who you bring around your children, and you hear so many stories of, sad stories of, well, I left my daughter with my boyfriend, and next thing you know, he killed him. And my daughter was not allowed to sit on anybody's lap.
Of course.
Right? And especially young parents, not all, so don't come at me, but we were talking about standards and boundaries and certain things. It's not okay. It's not okay because you don't know. You meet someone 2 weeks old. Could you just watch my child when I go to the supermarket? No. No.
Right.
I don't. And if I were single, I wouldn't even want to be put in that situation.
Right.
I don't even want you to pick me up because I don't want you to know where I live.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember
Right.
one time going on a date and I asked the guy, "Can I see a picture of your license?" And I took a picture of it and I sent it to my sister and I sent it to my daughter. I said, "I'm going to meet him at,
Right.
and this is his license." You know, I mean, is that old school? Is that extra?
It's
It
necessary.
possibly is,
Yes.
but
It
I
is
just felt that it's
necessary.
necessary.
It's very necessary,
I've gone on
especially
those
nowadays.
sites and paid like $5.99 so I could do a background check to see if you were like arrested, to see where
Right.
you really live.
Yeah.
And I know that may seem like it's extreme, but how do I know you are who you are?
Exactly.
So I have to take it
Right.
slow.
Yeah. I mean, if they have
And
a whole
get to
show
know
called
you.
Catfished, I'm sure
Right.
you need to be doing your
Right,
research on
right,
people.
right,
They have a
right.
whole show. I mean, we're evolving, and people are nowadays using other means
Yep.
to
Right.
use, false identities
Yep.
to get to
Right.
to,
I
to
I
have
had
a conversation
girlfriend.
with people.
I had a girlfriend that was out there, and I'm looking out for her, and I'm like, look, where are you going? Again, with the license plate. I had another girlfriend. Every time she went out, she would send me a picture of her license plate and everything. And I was trying to help her. It wasn't received in the right way. But I'm like, look, I care about you. I want you to be dating and be happy. But I need to know,
Right.
But it wasn't received well. But it ended up being, my spirit, it just wasn't feeling right.
Yeah.
It didn't seem
Right.
right. And when I get that way, I'm just like, it was, and turned out to be, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it was.
I think people need also to be realistic about their slowness. you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, set realistic expectations for
Right.
yourself. I mean, you definitely don't want to be selfish with the slowness. You
Right,
gotta,
right.
gotta
You
keep
don't wanna
the
be a
other
snail.
No,
You know, and
exactly.
you don't want to be like my father used to say. You have two speeds when it's time to clean up: slow and stop. And so you don't want to be and perceived to like not have any energy
Right.
or commitment to learning who I am and trying to enjoy me.
Right.
But it is very important for you, even before you get in a relationship with someone, before you even start dating, identify what does slow mean to me, and what do I want to communicate and share, and at what point.
Yeah.
And then have that conversation with the other person
Yeah.
so that you guys are on the same page.
Absolutely.
You know, like, hey, I'm going to pick you up. Well, I really don't feel comfortable
Yeah,
with
not
you
in
coming
front of
to
my
my
house.
or I don't want to
Right.
be in the same car with you. Let me meet you at the restaurant. And
Right.
let's do a couple of outside dates
Right,
first.
right, right.
And let's have some
Not even in the
laughter.
same neighborhood.
Right,
Right.
right. Let's
Right,
laugh and talk and at least let me try to get to
Right.
know you. And then maybe after we've been on 5 dates, then maybe you can pick me up. But I
Right.
still might not welcome you in my house.
Right,
Right.
Because that's my safe space.
Yeah.
Right? And you come in and you put on a show for 5 dates, and now you come and
Right.
you're like, ha ha ha. I don't
Right.
know who you are.
Right.
So I don't want to put myself in
Right.
that situation.
I dated a guy
Yeah.
once, and after 2 dates, didn't kiss him, just 2 dates, 2 movie dates, he calls and says, so when can we pick out furniture? What? That's a red flag. That's stupid. Right.
Thank you, Marvin.
But some women would look at that, oh, he wants to move in with me? I'm like, no, that's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
yeah,
weird.
because then you got to ask yourself, how many women did you ask this to?
Exactly.
Because if
No.
you that easy for me,
Right.
Can you just
Exactly.
imagine?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get
No.
that when I when I get those messages like on social media and they be like, "Hello, what's your ring size?" I'm like, get out of here.
Not
Get
yet.
out of here. No.
Not
I mean, I know I'm single and everything, but I am not desperate.
Right.
I'm
And
not
that's the
desperate.
difference.
But I definitely believe in taking things slow. There's no reason to have to jump into things head first. Take your time. I have a friend right now that I'm trying to minister to because, yeah, do it right. But I'm trying to minister to her because, you know, she jumps head first in some of these relationships
Right.
and then she gets the short end of the stick. When I'm just like, girl, you ain't got to, just slow it down.
Right. And if you're giving me everything and not requiring anything of me,
Right.
I'm going to take it.
Right.
I'm going to take it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And that works both ways.
It does, and that's what's happening right now. Poor thing. But yeah, I really feel that as though, and I do agree with you because my mother was the same way. I was an only child. My mom raised me, you know, from the age of 2 up until 20, and then she met my stepfather. But it was just she and I most of my life, and never. I could probably count one person outside of my biological father and my stepfather that she dated while raising me. But not one time did I ever wake up and see a man in my house.
That's
Right.
right.
Never. Because she was smart. Given how
And
I grew
self-respect
up
for
and how
herself.
rebellious I
Right,
was,
right,
I'd have been like,
right.
all in her face, well, you remember that man that you had over that time?
Right.
January 12th, 1992?
Exactly, with the red shirt.
Exactly. Exactly. I'd have been all up in her face.
Junie, bringing Junie over. He up there acting like he my stepmother. Pookie, it's Pookie's dad, Junie.
And he sucked Sheldon ShopRite. Oh my God. Well, this was a great topic, y'all. I mean, this was really, really, really good. And I had found a scripture for this actual topic. I was actually searching in Proverbs. And Proverbs always has a good word for the folks. But in Proverbs 19:2, it says, "Desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way." So,
AKA, don't be thirsty.
right.
Right.
Don't be desperate. Value yourself. Use your words. And walk in your purpose.
Right. Right. And yeah, take your time. Like you were saying, take your time, do it right. You can do it, baby. Do it tonight. Yeah.
You know, I had, if I have time to say, I remember my son was dating this young lady in high school, and none of my kids were allowed to have company. We weren't home, and I had just called her from work. I worked 5 minutes from home, and I said, okay, I'm coming over. He said, okay, I'm getting ready to ride my bike to grandma's, which is another 5 minutes away. So from the time I left work and I got home, I seen this young lady coming out my house. And I said, why are you here? And I said, Dante, you know the rules, and she does too. And I said, I just called you, and I know she wasn't here because he wasn't home. And she said, oh, I just wanted to see him for 2 minutes. I said, let me tell you something. I said, don't be that hungry, thirsty, because you have to talk to them in their language, to see anybody for 2 minutes, not my son or anybody else's.
Wow, that's honorable of you because most mothers nowadays don't even think about sharing that with a woman who's a young lady who's dating their son. It's always about their son. They have to protect their son. But the fact that you did that, because obviously she didn't have a mother that taught her that.
Well, she whether she did or didn't, I'm not talking about the parenting. You know, it takes a village.
It does.
And I had my girlfriend's mom. She passed on. She taught me that, and it was her son. I'm not going to call her any names, but she was so respectful and caring about me because she was a woman
Right.
first. That. You know, and I learned a lot from her.
Yeah.
I learned how to be. Yes, I have a son, but I'm also a woman first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's to me, that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's very
because
important.
we as young women dating these young men out here, oftentimes we're not aware of certain things, and it takes sometimes somebody else's parent
Right.
to school you
Yeah.
for you to really get it. So that was extremely honorable for you to do. But yeah, this was good, y'all. This is really, really good. Where are you in your relationship? Are you taking it slow, like a snail? Or are you happy where you are? Are you picking up a little bit? Maybe you started off slow. But we want to hear from you. So make sure you comment and let us know. Where are you in your relationship? Do you find yourself struggling with the slowness? Or are you cool with that? But definitely, as we discussed, set the expectation for your partner. Set it. It's nothing wrong with having a conversation. You don't have to be slow with your conversation. You don't have to be slow with setting that expectation. But let me set the expectation for y'all. We got to go. Okay, we got things to do. But guess what? These amazing, dynamic women are coming back next week. Right? You coming back, Renee?
If I'm invited back,
you are invited next week. All right, then she is coming back. My godmama Denise is gonna come back. She ain't gonna have no librarian shirt on though. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you just got to stay
can't.
tuned
I
to see.
can't.
Okay, there she go. Oh, come on. Hot. Come on, somebody. Well, we got to run up out of here because we got things to do, places to go, and people to see. But until the next time, stay divine. Ciao. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Dining with Nadiva show. Make sure to check us out on all the audio platforms like Spotify, Apple, Amazon, TuneIn. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.